Jane, while we're waiting, what's in the background today?
It's the Alhambra in Granada, Spain.
Wonderful.
You can always count on you for a good background.
A little variety is always good.
Here's Janet. She says she's trying.
Okay.
In case you're wondering, Jane, my background is my daughter's bedroom.
Okay.
That's exotic too, right?
Grown and gone.
So now it's a study, right? An all-purpose room.
Yes.
Still exotic. Well, Janet says she's working on this. Shall I read the? Oh, she says it won't launch for some reason. Do you want to?
Mine wouldn't either. I had to go get back out and then go in without video. It wouldn't. I guess you could see me, but I couldn't. I could only hear you, and I couldn't talk. So
Okay. Well, maybe she can go in through the town. I'll suggest it.
Okay, we are live on YouTube now.
All right. I'm going to assume she's working on it. She says tried 3 ways. Ryan, do you want to resend it to her just in case?
Sure, I did. I sent you guys the link, I think about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That one.
yeah, that one was more difficult than the one from the town, actually.
Yeah.
I
it
got
is.
right in on it.
Me too.
Maybe
Ryan.
suggest she come on without video.
Yeah, that's fine. Or let me send her the link from the town.
Okay.
Okay, with waiting a couple minutes if he's trying to get in, I feel like we should.
She said, oh, wait a second. Hang on. This is a different Zoom.
This is what happens when you rely on me for technical support. I'll say.
No, are you kidding? You're fabulous.
I think you do a great job.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Good
so
job.
this, I know Janet's trying to get in because it says we have 2 attendees. Oh, there she is. She just popped up.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
2 attendees, but then there wasn't anybody in the list. So it's not, I don't think this is Janet's fault. I think we're gonna blame Microsoft.
Yes.
Janet, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
I tried it through the website. I tried it through your email from a few minutes ago. I tried it through the reminder yesterday. Finally, one of them worked. I had all 3 open.
It wasn't just you. So
Okay, now Marguerite, if you
All
want
right, let's do
to
it.
make her message, sorry.
All right, it is 11:07 and pursuant, I'm calling the Library Board of Trustees meeting to order pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, GL 30, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Southborough Library Board of Trustees will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information on the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town website. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen to the meeting may do so in the following manner. Town website, southboroughtown.com/remote meetings. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Southborough's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Good. Okay. First order of business is to review and approve the minutes of March 16, 2021. Do we have any additions or corrections besides mine?
Not really.
Okay, I would like to add the following corrections, and I can email them to you, Ryan, after, if you want to double check them. Under ukulele's update on page 1, it said targeted ages of the last sentence. Targeted ages for program participation is 11 to 19 years. But I would say, I would just put in language to say it's not limited to that, that we're also counting on adults using it at certain points. So I would just say targeted ages for program participation is 11 to 19 years, but not limited to that, you know.
Why don't I keep the targeted language and just add also open to adult participants?
Yes, I think so too.
Adult and senior, we have a couple seniors who are in the initial round. I can tell you who registered. So it'll be a
That's
nice kind of multi-age event.
That's great.
I think it's great. Amy, this is such a wonderful thing, really.
Yeah, I'm glad it's going forward. My daughter, it changed her world being able to, she taught herself, but it's a great thing.
It truly is. It truly is. Okay, the second correction I'd like to make is on page 2 under DPW. This is about the sign. The last sentence of the DPW section reads 3 things: the solar panel bench, the installing the story walk display, and fixing brick pillars on outdoor sign paid by vendor who damaged. I'd say paid for by subcontractor who damaged. Because the vendor to me means the person who sold us the sign.
Why don't we list the name of the company that's supposed to pay for it? Because I think I can get you that information.
Okay, if you think that's a
Add
good
that
thing.
to the
add,
minutes. Karen sent it to me recently, so I can
Okay.
have the company.
That's great.
That makes sense. It's more specific that way.
Right.
Yeah,
And we
Yeah, I
thank them
think
for
that's
being
good.
good citizens and stepping up.
they haven't paid for it yet.
Well, we thank them in advance for that.
Yeah,
right?
I think we can give them a formal thank you after, right?
Yes, definitely. Anyway, we appreciate it. And on page 3, the carpeting update, Capital Planning Committee does not have any information yet. Trustee Maney will talk with Jason Malinowski and/or Andrew Pfaff of CPC. I believe they're both on advisory, not CPC.
They're on the capital planning committee as well. They're
Andrew
on
Pfaff
both
is?
committees. Yep, they're on both committees.
Because I looked on the town website and he wasn't listed. His wife was, Marie was listed.
On capital planning, I think you're.
Oh, I was doing community preservation.
Yeah, there's the
Okay.
Community Preservation Commission
Thank you.
and there's the Capital
Okay.
Planning Committee. So sometimes capital planning is referred to as the CPC.
Yes,
Since
okay.
the other group was there first.
All right, yes, okay, so
Typically refer to them just as capital.
thank you.
Way
for
to be
bringing that.
confusing, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to stop using acronyms, I would
Yes.
say.
Yes, that would
Write
be
it
a
out.
lovely thing indeed. And then on the assistant library description, this is just an English professor thing where it says discussion of additions, revisions to previous assistant librarian job, which had included verbiage about teen services. My sense would be to just change it to the word language about teen services. I don't know why. Just verbiage sounds like it's extra or ungood. I don't know. So I would just change verbiage to language, although that's not major.
Yeah, we can change, if no one has any objections, we can make that change.
That sounds
Okay.
good.
And then on page 4, under meet the candidates, the last sentence, candidates will state their platforms, and then questions from residents will be posed in advance, allowing candidates to provide answers in their talks. Are we giving the candidates the questions in advance? I thought we were not. Ryan?
I don't think we decided at that meeting. I think you were empowered to make that determination. So I think we're gonna be letting the form go up today.
Mhm.
I don't think there's gonna be time to give the candidates the questions in advance. There's gonna be about a week that people have to submit the questions.
Okay, so the questions will
supposed
be
to
new
get-
to the candidates when
Yeah,
they,
so I
I
don't know
don't
how we're
think we
supposed
should
to
give
get
them the question.
submissions.
I don't think we should give it to them in advance. If
All
it
right.
was live, they would just be on the spot. So
right.
Well,
I
either-
agree,
either
Jane.
way- Oh, okay. If we gave them to them in advance, they might do a better prepared answer. But I think we should publish, if we did that, we should publish the questions in advance too, so there's not a lot of duplication and stuff.
Well, yeah, well, what happens in the actual, as we all know, during the actual candidates night is the questions just come from the floor, bing, and nobody has.
Right, so they don't have the advantage of having time to
Research,
think about
yeah,
it. They
exactly.
need
Yeah.
to speak spontaneously.
So
Okay,
are
I've
we?
got a question that I wouldn't mind someone thinking a little bit about before they answered, but that's all right.
I don't, so how do we want to go on it? Do we want to give them the questions before? Is that going to be humanly possible with the
Well,
scheduling?
this would be a sort of a separate agenda topic,
Yeah,
Okay,
and we can discuss this next week. Really, what you guys
Alright.
are doing right now is editing the minutes. So what I would posit is that the minutes that you're reviewing are
Mhm.
accurate at the time,
Yes.
because that was something we were considering. But I think they did empower you, Marguerite, to make the determinations about this event. What's going to happen is you guys are discussing this the day before the event happens. So if you do make if people agree with Janet, if she sways you, they'll have about a day to review the questions, and that would be the maximum amount of times. What Marguerite and I have discussed in between meetings was that we don't even know how many questions we're going to get from the public. So all of this is kind of dependent on the questions coming in. Does that make sense? So maybe we need questions before we really make that decision.
right. So, so my issue right now is maybe we should strike the last sentence in these minutes because it's not quite accurate, because it looks like we're going to ask the residents. Questions from residents will be posed in advance, means that we're gonna, to me, reveal the question, allowing candidates to provide answers in their talks. To me, that looks like we're gonna send the questions out before the event. So I would
The-
consider either.
yeah, so why
striking-
don't we just take it out?
Yeah,
Because
I-
we haven't really decided what we're doing.
Right.
I don't remember us deciding then that we were doing
No, I
that.
don't think we did either. Is it
I
okay
think
with
it was a
everybody?
discussion. I don't think there was a decision made. So
Right.
I would,
Yeah.
I think striking it is probably the right way to go.
All right. So with that, with those feedbacks, motion to approve the minutes.
As amended,
All right,
yeah,
and a
right,
second,
with all those changes.
right? And a
So
second,
moved.
okay, that's two. And all in favor, I'm going to do trustee Davis,
Aye,
trustee Ekberg,
Aye.
trustee Landry, aye, trustee Maney.
Aye.
Trustee Reagan is not with us. Trustee Estani.
Aye.
All right, the motion passes. The minutes are accepted as written. All right, the library facade restoration project. We're discussing the PCO number 18 about repointing the granite base of the building. This will require a vote, and maybe Mary, you'd like to speak to that?
Sure. So the part that we're talking about is the granite block foundation and the little, what we call a belt width. It's it's what the brick sits on. So it's kind of a dressy element that gets buttered together with mortar. And some of the mortar has over time worn off or blown away and is no longer there, which could allow water to get behind the granite and into the cavity, possibly causing some freeze and thawing and shifting of the granite. It's not a major concern, but what we thought is while we have the mason available, this would complete the envelope. It would be 100% renovation of the envelope. And one of the reasons that this wasn't done initially, we were looking at budget, and we did consider that. And second of all, what I've explained to Ryan is it's one of those things that, like when you paint your front door, then all of a sudden you go, oh, the shutters need it too. Or, or, same thing in your house. There's that old Gracie and Burns schedule where she buys new dishes and they end up redoing the whole kitchen. So it's kind of like that. Is the building going to fall down? No, but repointing needs to be done every 20 or 30 years, and we have the mason on site. I think it'll be beneficial to do it, because over time, if you don't do it, you're just going to lose more mortar, and then when water gets behind there, it pushes out. When it freezes, it expands and pushes. It will dislocate the granite. So that's my recommendation.
Okay, thank you. And I see the total that's being charged is $7,848.34.
Yep.
Okay, and because it's over 5,000, that's why we're having this meeting. Any trustees have any thoughts on this?
Just a quick question, Mary. I had a case of sticker shock at the $120 an hour. In your experience, is that a reasonable number?
Yeah, that is right now, because they're rolling in, COVID costs and everything else they have to do into everything. That's a little above prevailing wage, but on change orders, they can charge what they want, and that's what we've been paying.
Okay, thank you.
That includes their retirement, everything. This, it's not just that's not what he's getting paid hourly. That's the contractor's overhead. Oh, they have an overhead and profit line, but that includes all their benefits and, any truck that they're driving to get there. It's all in there.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, calling it man hours is a little misleading, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So Mary, does this have any, there's water under those steps we've found, they put tons of gravel and all that kind of stuff. Is this related to that at all, or is this
It
just a
is
separate
not.
issue?
No, that's a separate issue. The groundwater table is extremely high in Southborough, and we've found evidence that there was a stream where this building is.
Oh, good.
Stony
Fortunately-
Brook, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, the exterior drains that the town put in have been successful.
Okay, good.
So far.
Yeah.
Mary, just a question. If we, like you said, with all the COVID additures, what do you estimate the percentage are? Like if we waited a year, how much would we save? Just curious.
You wouldn't say, because you'd have to pay a remobilization. It's a small project. If you couldn't find somebody local, nobody's going to be interested in it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I think we should go ahead with
Yep.
just getting it all done.
I agree.
And not, it's going to be really hard in a separate year to come up with $7,000 or $8,000 to do it. Whereas we have the money, we have the people. It's like, let's get the whole project done.
Yeah.
And you have a skilled mason, as you can see from the front stairs on site, so.
Oh, yeah, it looks fabulous, by the way.
Yeah.
Using the same mason will also help make it consistent.
Continuity.
Has already been done. And also to kind of note, we're not talking, there might be increases in the cost in the future, as well as obtaining the money, which we'd have to talk to the capital planning committee about. And it would cost more because we'd have to pay them to come here independently. So there would be an additional cost for that. So I would say, given the amount that is left in the CPC budget, this is probably not something that was really part of the initial, it's still in the scope, but it wasn't part of the initial budget because we didn't know if we'd have money at the end of the project to get this done. And the money is there, is what we can tell you. So my advisement would be to go ahead and do this if you agree.
I think trying to sell this at a separate time as a standalone thing
Impossible.
would be pretty,
Yeah.
it's maintenance, that's pretty tough to sell.
Yeah.
Well, we're already like in the construction zone. I think people, it's easier to just keep going than to stop and start over.
Right.
Well, that's the other issue, right? We're already closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Parent isn't at this meeting, but he's also in support of advising that it's done. So I would just want to state that so that you were aware that our facilities director, who has to manage the facility over the next couple of years.
I'm
would
sure.
also like this done.
So are we ready for a vote on this? Yep. All right, do I have a motion to accept this invoice and to agree with proceeding with the work?
It's a proposed change order. It's not an invoice. Just
Oh, what's the difference?
an invoice that you pay on. This, you just make a motion to give them authority to do the work.
Oh, okay, got it, thank you.
And then we'll get an invoice later.
Okay, got it. It looks like an invoice to me because.
Yeah.
It won't be invoiced separately. It'll fold into one of the future requisition payments.
All right, good to know. Okay,
So,
thank
so
you.
Janet and I review those and Marguerite actually signs off on it. But if anybody, is curious about that data, you can reach out to Janet and I. We have all that.
All
So
right, thank you. All right, so do I have a motion to accept the proposed change order?
So moved.
All right, Janet, in a second.
Second,
All right, and that is Jane. All right, so Trustee Davis,
Aye. I
Trustee
agree.
Ekberg,
Aye.
trustee Landry, me, I, trustee Maney,
Aye.
trustee Reagan, not here, trustee Asdani.
Aye.
Okay, so the motion passes. Thank you, Mary, for your help on that. And I guess we're done with asking you questions if you want to leave and go attend to the rest of your busy day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you
Mary.
very much. The
Mary.
library looks fabulous, by the way.
Good.
Thanks to your guidance. All right, the only question I have for any other business that shall properly come before the board, do we have a quorum for our next meeting?
Yes.
Janet may or may not be able to come because she has another schedule conflict.
I'll be there.
Okay,
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
and
How about
Kim, as
Kim?
far as we know?
Is
Ryan?
yes?
I think she said yes.
Okay, all right.
Because Kim couldn't be, this would have been a regular meeting. Kim had a conflict and because it's school vacation
Full
week.
vacation, yeah.
Yeah, which
All
is, I know Amy's not at home too, so that was, it was, thank you for being here, Amy.
Oh,
But
no problem.
yeah, that was why we didn't do last week. Would it help if we had a different time, Janet? That the same day, or does it matter?
If it were later, it would be okay, but I may be able to make part of it. I just won't know until it happens.
If we do it at noon, would that be okay? Or is that not enough?
That's probably all right.
Is Kim gonna be able to do it at noon?
She has a hard stop at 2 usually.
Yeah, I'll have a little earlier hard stop than that, about 1:30 if we
Maybe-
started.
Why don't we leave?
Yeah,
what
I
if-
have a 1:30 stop.
Yeah,
for me
what if we
too.
leave it at 11 and Janet, you try to come in on your phone if you can. How's that?
Okay.
Just with your audio would be fine and whenever. Does that work? for
Sure.
everybody? I'm reluctant to move it because I don't know, an hour and a half may not do us. I don't know.
That's a scary thought.
I
Yeah.
know. Let's just take all day for this meeting. Oh. Okay, so is there any other, I'll leave it the way it is for 11 and we'll hope for the best. And any other issues that people want to discuss or say?
I will say, I'm gonna have a recommendation to start the early stages of discussing my evaluation in the next meeting.
All right,
Only because that takes several meetings to do, and it's gonna be due in June.
okay, that's good to know. All right,
Yeah, I have to ask you guys to start now so that you can start talking about it, but you don't have to make any final decisions. But I wanted to give the board who were present a heads up, and I've already mentioned this to Kim Regan too.
do you think it will be helpful to email the board the evaluation form so we can have it under our belts when we meet?
You mean, like the blank eval form?
Yep.
Yeah, I can send that out to everyone.
Thank you. I
Yeah, that
think
makes
would be helpful.
sense.
Yeah.
Because 3 of us are new. I mean, I went through the last one. It had just started, but
Yeah, that would be helpful, I think. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to add to the meeting today? Nope. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
From Janet May.
Second,
A second
second.
from Jane Davis. All right. Trustee Ekberg.
Aye.
Trustee Davis, sorry, I forgot.
Aye.
Trustee Landry, aye. Trustee Maney.
Aye.
Trustee Reagan, present. Trustee Yazdani.
aye.
The motion carries. We are adjourned. Okay, I'll see you in a week, everybody.
Have a good week.
Okay.
Yes, have a beautiful
Bye.
day. Okay, bye.
Oh, yeah,
Bye.
take your
everyone.
allergy medication before you go outside. I was out for
Yeah.
5 minutes and came in weeping and sneezing and
Oh, welcome to New
high
England.
alert today.
There's an app for that, by the way, that'll tell you what's high in your area. My family
I
has
get that,
terrible,
actually. I get notices, but it comes in at like 4 a.m.
very helpful. Bye.